YouTube, what's up, Giants fans? It is your boy Jay Dons, and we're back at it with another New York Giants video. Back at it with another New York Giants banger. And if this is your first time watching, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love Giants football. We got us some good news. Let's hop right into it. The New York Giants defense looks like it's going to be some help on the way in the next couple of weeks. First, let's talk about Adoree, who did suffer a tweaked ankle in last week's game. He's been practicing. He's been limited all week, and it seems like he will be making a go to play in this possible playoff clinching game versus Indianapolis. Great to hear that. Adoree has been a beast ever since he came back off that injury. Anytime he's been on the field this year has been a beast. In 6 games, listen to this, in 6 games, he has 5.5 sacks. Adoree is a beast. Hopefully, he can stay on the field because when he is on the field, he's a dominant force. But let's talk about the secondary. The Giants look they're going to get some big help back in the secondary, starting off with Xavier McKinney, who today was activated off the non-football injury list. He's back. He looks like he will be back in the next 3 weeks is the timetable for the Giants to activate him onto the roster. He did practice today. He has a little mitten. I've seen the reports. I've seen the picture. He has a little mitten on his hand, and 4 of the fingers are put in a splint, locked in together. And he's also said that he himself, coming from Xavier McKinney, is trying to play this Sunday. He is trying to play this Sunday. It's all up to the trainers if they will allow him to go out there on that field. But Adoree Jackson, also the number 1 corner, is also looking like he will be making a return in this big game for the New York Giants. The Giants defense, as my phone falls out of my freaking lap, I'm freaking excited to drop the phone, but the Giants defense is finally getting the big pieces back. This defense of the past, 2 months, has been playing without its number 1 safety in Xavier McKinney and its number 1 cornerback on a roster where the backup cornerbacks from Adoree Jackson, they shouldn't be on the field. Fabian Moreau as a cornerback too, when Adoree Jackson was in the lineup, was perfectly fine. He was, suiting it as that role greatly. But then when Adoree Jackson went down off of that stupid decision to put him back on the freaking punt team, the punt return team, it has been absolutely horrible. The Giants had to roll out Fabian Moreau, Zion Gilbert, and Nick McLeod for multiple games. And then Fabian Moreau for a game or two went down with an injury. So we've been rolling out with Darnay Holmes, a rookie in Cordell Fly, who also had gotten hurt, freaking Zion Gilbert, and Nick McLeod. Insane work. And the Giants defense, for what it's worth, has not really been that bad with those guys back there. So props to Wink Martindale, props to this defensive line that has really helped out this secondary with 2 of its biggest players in the secondary in Xavier McKinney and Adoree Jackson going down with injuries. It looks like those guys will be back, and that is huge. In this Colts game, if the Giants can get Adoree Jackson back, I'm not sure if McKinney will play. It sounds like he's trying to play. But if we can just get Adoree Jackson back, this defense should be we should be fine. Even without Adoree Jackson and Xavier McKinney, we should be fine. This Colts team, this Colts offense in general, it's just not good led by Nick Foles. They are going to be without Jonathan Taylor. The New York Giants defense, definitely if we get McKinney and Adoree Jackson back this week, needs to handle business, needs to put these guys to bed. We should be celebrating. On New Year's Day. We need to be celebrating on New Year's Day. We need to be freaking happy. I need to come up here and freaking partying with you guys because we done made the goddamn playoffs. But the Giants defense is finally getting back some big pieces. I cannot wait to see how this team looks, how this defense looks with the big 4, the fantastic 4 in Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari, and Kayvon Thibodeaux, who we already know as a forward, as that foursome right there, has been dominant ever since they all been able to get on the field together. But you put some big pieces back in the secondary, that gives those guys more time to get back there and get sacks. What I had said, I think a couple weeks ago, is the biggest thing about this edge rush and the biggest thing about this pass rush that has been elite, freaking elite, I will say elite since Ojulari has came back, is if they are able to get the secondary to hold up, give them more time to get back there, and they can get back there, which they have been doing, but then they're not just going to be pressures. Them QB hits, they're not going to be QB hits. They're going to start being sacks because you have the corners like Adoree Jackson, you have the safety like Xavier McKinney, two big pieces of the defense back there, giving you just enough time to get back there and make plays. So with those two guys possibly coming back this week, it's helping out the defense in general, but it's also helping out those edge rushers, as into Kayvon Thibodeaux and Xavier. They're going to get back there. It's not just about getting those QB hits. It's not about getting those QB pressures. Those hits and pressures are going to turn into sacks because you have more time to get there with this secondary. You know how hard it is to get a sack when your freaking cornerbacks are giving up coverage and giving up freaking yards within like 2 seconds? It's very difficult to get a sack in freaking 1 second unless you freaking blow right past the offensive lineman. But finally, we might be able to see this defense at full strength. And that is one thing that we have not been able to see, I think, all season. I don't know if we have had a game where Adoree Jackson, Xavier McKinney, and the big Fantastic Four has all been on the field at the same time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure if we've been able to see that this whole season. And we might be able to get that this week in the most important game, in a playoff clinching game versus the Indianapolis Colts. The New York Giants fans got some big and great news today. We activate Xavier McKinney. He will be back in the next 3 weeks. Possibly could play this Sunday. Adoree Jackson has been practicing all week in a limited capacity. Might be back this Sunday. I think Adoree Jackson will play. I do think Adoree Jackson will be back, but just having McKinney back before the playoffs is great. We get to see how he looks. If he does play this game, I don't expect him to play a full, snap count of plays, but just getting him back in the game shape, which I've seen that he is up to par when you talk about him being in shape. So getting him back for this game will be important. You let him ride out kind of in that next game, and then he will be ready before the playoffs, which will be huge, that we have all these guys back. But that's going to do it. If you enjoyed this video, if you are excited about this news, sound off in the comment section. But that's going to do it. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about this game in more depth. We're going to talk about the Giants having to handle business tomorrow. But until then, it's been your boy J Dimes, and I am out. Go Giants. We out.